I honestly think this is just to throw a coin. They're both amazing blitz players, so it really is 50-50, I think.
Yeah, here we go. The blitz has started.
It has started, and it's the English opening. Black's bishop coming out now. White just pushing a pawn forward. They'll just get developed. They'll get their pieces out into the centre and transfer the battle to the middle game. Very sensible strategy, especially in blitz. You don't have to think too early in the game. You just develop. You just kind of control squares, control the centre. And what do you guys think about this choice? Firouzja, if I remember correctly, actually used this opening in the candidates tournament against Ding Loren. So Firouzja sticking to something he knows. Magnus, of course, knows everything about the openings. About all of them, pretty much.
I think it's a wise choice by Magnus. I mean, I think the English is a good opening, but this is more like, trying to get a small advantage, keep all the pieces on the board, and just push. And here you get a space advantage. This is quite a nice structure generally for White to have, but of course Black knows his stuff as well here, creating some problems with that pawn. But I like being White in these positions personally, so I'm a bit biased in White's favour.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, Ivanka, is this game still following Ding Loren against Alireza Firouzja?
It still was following, and then no, not anymore.
Okay, White pushes the pawn, defending the centre, but either way, I mean, whether or not Firouzja is following that game, he will have studied the ideas from the Black side. Look at Black's clock time as well, barely spent a second. Firouzja up to this point continues pushing, trying to destabilise White over there on the queen side, on that left flank. And Magnus, will he react, I was going to say, by pushing a pawn, blocking things up, or more dynamically, getting the White pieces into gear? And Simon, you like this because White has more space, White has slightly better development right now in the centre. White's knights look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they call it, it's a bit like what they call a Maroczy bind setup, which is where you get this light square bishop pointing towards the middle and controlling the middle with a bit of extra space. And White is also, as you mentioned, a bit better developed here. Black's got to get those queenside pieces into the game. And I can also see White having a half-open file, a weakness that Black has in the middle of the board, that pawn being the problem. I mean, these are just little things. Black's got obviously good pieces and counterplay as well. So still in the balance, really. Early days, as yet.
Definitely early days, and it kind of feels like White has the slightly better long-term prospects, and Black, of course, has a very solid position and active pieces, and I wasn't expecting this move from Magnus. I was expecting the b-pawn to push itself up one square forward.
Yeah, I mean, Magnus is not scared of basically doing some damage to his pawn structure here, because if Black ever takes made it. The rook defending now.
But maybe you could just leave the queen on this square in some scenarios. Not sure whether you want to, as Magnus, do you want to complicate things? But where does white's queen go? If it retreats, the best you can get is a queen trade. So I think Magnus has to give his queen here if he wants to win this game.
And I wonder what the top going on with the time, because it does say that Firouzja's clock has run out. I'm pretty sure that is not the case, but
Would have popped up on the screen if it had.
Yes, the tuck would have said.
okay, but he's very short then. They're both getting under 30 seconds, we know that now. But what's he got to play here? Is he got to give up the queen, which is just instinctively risky?
There we go.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He's done it before. And Firouzja, seconds left on the clock.
Getting complicated.
It's getting really complicated.
This coming in.
This is messy. This is really messy. I mean, you could take so many pieces here. Just guys at home, don't look at the computer. Try and calculate this position for yourself. It's a lot to calculate.
Black's knight is coming in. If you allow that black knight to come to f2 and check you, you will lose to what we call smothered mate. Okay, he gets rid of the knight. That was important. And now Magnus does give up his queen.
Wow, what a variation. And he's got bishop takes here, and it looks like this is the key move, right?
The killer move. That black rook in the corner is trapped. Has to give itself up for this pawn. And now Magnus will simply take this rook. It's two rooks against a queen. Normally that's imbalanced, but here it's all about that remaining white pawn.
Yeah.
And also checkmate will end the game. That knight drops. It's two rooks and a bishop against the queen. It's too much material. Too many pieces. This one is going to be Magnus. He can give a check with his rook here. Yeah, moves a pawn. He can just move this rook that's attacked out of the way.
And the bishop does a great job, doesn't it, stopping any checks. You know, white's bishop is a key piece, and this is forcing the win now.
Yeah, Magnus makes an e-queen. He's two rooks and a bishop up. One rook drops, but it won't be enough. White's king will run to safety.
Got a cross check here in a lot of positions. We talked about the cross check earlier. We might say black's trying to check out of trouble, but it's not going to work. No perpetual here.
And the checks will dry up. They'll run out in a couple of moves' time. The bishop jumps back to defend. White's king will move. Next, the white queen will jump back and defend. And there we go. Magnus takes the first blitz game.
Wow, he takes the lead in the match. Magnus Carlsen, Firouzja in 5 minutes. Blitz game number 2. He has to win, Firouzja, to take it to an